Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Spirit Blossom Ahri, and we'll be facing off against the Elder Dragon adventure from the Titans of Runeterra campaign. Because I lost last time I played with Spirit Blossom Ahri, and I want a redo of that run. I feel like we can very easily win against the Elder Dragon. We just have to get lucky and like last time and draw Ahri when we need to. I'm pretty sure I'm still running the same things. No, actually, the last run got me to level 26, so I added the lost chapter. So that way we can hopefully cast a spell on the same turn we play Ahri. Or cast a more expensive spell. Anyway, let's get to it. Early bird, rush them down, crush. Crush helps close out games. Early bird pulls a sparring student, which is decent. Actually, no, it doesn't pull a sparring student. It pulls the... Yeah, it pulls the prancing sea spirits instead. That's a bit worse because we'll lose the value of the play effect. So maybe we should reroll this. Yeah, let's do it. Thrice bound, afterlife forbidden, fall on the wind. Thrice bound will pull the serene spirit. That's not that great, but on the other hand, the curse will actually count towards Ahri's effect. So we'll get a very large Foxfire. Do I want that? I can eventually get a follower that I would like to cheer out with Thrice Bound. Let's try it. Let's do some experimenting. Since it's this early in the run, we can try and draft our deck towards pulling out something decent with Thrice Bound and then just releasing it and getting a nice board swing at the same time with Ahri's effect to summon a Foxfire with stats equal to the most expensive spell we've played. Let's be efficient with our mana usage. Let's do Prank first. Yep. Let's make that a bit worse. Then we drop down the Ahri. Now we can go for a Orb of Deception. Not on that though. Yeah, definitely not on that. Then again, we need to remove the spell shield. It's a bit of a bummer, but I have to do this. So that way I can kill that gentle gem dragon with the Orb of Deception we got off of the Ahri. Unless he buffs it out of range. I can do 28 damage. Let's see if the opponent has... No, he doesn't. He doesn't have enough buffs to save the gentle gem dragon. Nice. We save the Ahri, and we set up so that next turn we get a very nice attack into the opponent's Nexus. I want to release the Serene Spirit just so I can get more spell mana. So I go Shackles, get 2 6/6s. Okay, yeah. It worked the way I expected. I deal 30. And then we hit with the Serene Spirit, meaning we go back to full spell mana. And we can use the Orb of Deception to kill the unit it just summoned. The opponent only has 3 cards in hand that are not gems. Okay, 2 cards in hand that are not gems. So I think this turn we have enough time to go for a final blessing. Getting it down eventually is nice. Just so we can get some extra stats on our Foxfires. Are you going to attack, opponent? Maybe not. At least I wouldn't attack in this situation. No, actually, yes, I would. Force the opponent into trades. That's scary. What's it getting? Quick attack and impact. Can we get rid of it? Not really. We have a lot of orbs of deception, but we can't use all of them, unfortunately. So I guess we have to take the 27 damage here. It's going to hurt a lot. Ouch.
The world's heart beats with mine.
Well, at least I leveled up the Ahri. That's nice.
Eyes on me.
I'm pretty sure we can close out the game next turn. We just go for 2 spellcasts.
Too slow.
Like, we can go that there. Summon 2 7/7s. Remove the opponent's unit. Then I can go for this here. Just remove that unit from the board. And now we attack with everything. Actually, no, let's attack like this. This way we get a higher attack Foxfire than that one. We maximize our damage just in case the opponent has some sort of way out there. Which he could have. We did end up losing a lot of life there. None of these are that great. Things aren't shaping up that well for us. Invasive Hydra Vine. Is an invasive Hydra Vine something I want? It generates an encroaching mist every turn. But encroaching mists are not that great on their own. Still better than the Shipwreck Corridor, I guess. And we don't get the play effect off of the Dragon Egg. I don't want to spend all of my rerolls here at the beginning, so let's just pick up the Invasive Hydra Vine. If necessary, I'll cut it from the deck. Highs, J. Sivir. Highs is interesting. We do care about spellcasts. So the Realm Warp is a decent card. But we have a decent amount of followers in our deck, don't we? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Half of our deck is followers. So more often than not we'll end up discarding at least one card with the Realm Warp. That makes it a bit worse than I would like it to be. I need the 5 runes in order to proc Rise's effect. That's too slow. Let's not go for Rise. Sivir. Nah, let's not go Sivir. And then Jace. Shock Blast is a good card. Especially if it generates a blocker when I draw it. The Mist on the Forge of Tomorrow is interesting. Do we have any 6+ cost spells? No, the only one would be the Shock Blast. But we can get more. Yeah, let's try to go with Jace. Try to draft a spell focus deck. The payoff being we double up decent spells with Ahri. Infernal Drake or Mountain Drake. Even though Mountain Drake counteracts the Phantom Pranks, I feel like it's an easier fight than the Infernal Drake. At the very least I won't be burned to death whenever the opponent attacks. Let's toss all of these back. When I'm summon a Forge Worker, when you play 6+ cost spell, destroy me and refill your spell mana. No, let's not keep her. The Forge of Tomorrow. I would rather have a different card in hand at the start of the game. And we drew Jace instead of Ahri. A bit unfortunate. Like I said before, the only reason we ended up losing last time around was because we didn't draw Ahri when we needed to. And we definitely need to draw Ahri at the start of the game in order to start out valuing the opponent with double spellcasts. So here, I think I should try to cycle through my deck. So I'm going to go Essence Thief. And then I'll go for the Petals of Fate. Try and draw the Ahri here. Petals of Fate into Petals of Fate, sure. Just to see more cards. Not what I wanted. Well, let's attack with everything. Try to prevent the opponent from killing my Essence Thief, since it's going to deal a bit of damage here. The opponent's probably going to kill an important unit with the Challenger on the Stalking Broodmother. So I'll have to live with that. At least none of the opponent's units have overwhelmed yet. The opponent hasn't gotten lucky enough with his Dragon Souls in order to roll an Infernal Soul to give his units overwhelm. Yeah, let's use the Shackles. And shackle the Invasive Hydravine in case I need to block with it. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I'll block like this. It's a bit unfortunate to lose the Essence Thief without it trading again, but it damages the Balin, which is important. Really? You didn't want to go for the Petricite Broadwing as well. I wonder why. How do I want to do this? Let's go for the Sparring Student, try to pass priority back to the opponent, just see what he does. And I'm going to Spirit Rush. I want to draw an Ahri as soon as possible. That's not an Ahri. That's the second Jace. Of course I'm not going to draw an Ahri when I need. Let's try to do this. Use the Ephemerals to damage the Formidables and clear that thing, because I don't want the opponent to get more buffs out of it. Well, the Encroaching Mists are ramping up. That's nice. Also, I'm definitely overriding the Forge of Tomorrow, because I want to block the entirety of the opponent's board. Really now? I was fully expecting the opponent to attack with his full board of units, but he decided not to. I don't understand why. I guess he didn't want to lose that Petricite Broadwing. I mean, we're in a better position than the opponent. We are outvaluing him. We have more cards in hand, even though he's winning on board. Yep, once we draw Ahri, we would just win because of that. Because we have more cards in hand. Let's just hope the opponent doesn't have removal for this. We waste the spell mana that we get from summoning Ahri, but it's a minor thing in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, let's start with Deception. Since we get 2 casts, might as well. And we're going to remove that one. Yeah. And then we can attack with everything. Actually, not everything. I'm going to hold back the Sparring Student. Let's make use of the ephemerals to damage the formidables, because that reduces the amount of damage they can dish out. Really now? I waited this entire time to use the removal on my Ahri. That's a bit of a problem. The last card he had was removal for Ahri, or one of the last cards he had. Can I survive the next turn? Only if he doesn't attack right away. Because I need to protect myself from that stalking broodmother. Somehow. 6 then 6 to another. This summons 2 blockers, this summons 1. Let's summon 2 first. Underbalen. I see. Well, let's just jump block everything the opponent does here. It's going to hurt. I'm going to take a lot of damage here. But the opponent's out of cards, so things can only go up from here, right? I hope. Let's drop down the chase. Yeah, this one because he is larger. Quick attack, I guess. At the very least that makes it so we can trade somewhat favorably with the opponent's units. Okay, we can go Ahri. Let's hope the opponent doesn't have removal. It doesn't. Perfect. Now I just double shock blast. Jesse is going to level up, but I won't be able to go for the acceleration gate right away. I'll take it, I suppose. Let's do it like this. I intend to pull the Belen and another unit with the Foxfires. Can do this. This here. This here. Or I can do this. That way I can attack with Jace alongside the Ahri. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay. The opponent just decided to throw the Throwing Stoneworn away. I kind of wanted that. That's one way to get rid of the Chemtech Soul. That's fine. Because that thing doesn't have Overwhelm. Let's Shock Blast it down. That way we also save up spell mana for or enough mana for the Orbs of Deception. Each round, the first time we play 6 spells cost spell copy it onto the same targets. Oh, I didn't realize Jace did that. Well, to be fair, I never play with Jace. We need to protect the Ahri. No way I'm letting her die.
I eyes on me.
Okay, we've stabilized. So from here, I'm just going to go Final Blessing Acceleration Gate next turn. And that should close out the game. Because we just go ahead and summon a bunch of units with double attack.
Too slow.
Clear the range.
And a bunch of different keywords too. Let's see if the opponent can survive this.
Run if you can.
Let's attack with the lifesteal as well. That was a nice pull. Oh, never mind, the opponent blocked with the barrier unit. I was about to say that was a nice pull because we managed to restore a bunch of health because of that. But never mind.
Too slow.
It's fine. I was about to say it's not fine because we're losing the Ahri, but actually we get an Ahri from the Grand General's counter plan. So it was actually fine all along. And to be fair, we do have a bunch of Ahris shuffled into the deck from said Grand General's counter plan. And game over for the opponent. Yeah, I think we managed to win this game without even losing a single point of health.
Down as a success.
Things are looking up for us, surprisingly. Summoning Beacon. That might actually be too many units. We'll end up filling our board with bad stuff. Effective swap bot is interesting. It can change stats with some of the larger units the opponent has access to. Should I pick it up? I'm seriously considering it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if it pays off. At least that way I don't have to use a reroll there. The Forge of Tomorrow. Yeah, let's cut it. So far it hasn't been all that great. Slot bot, shop, item chest. When the foe activates the Daybreak, they summon a Dragling. When the foe activates Nightfall, they grant their dragons everywhere +1/+0. See, the problem is, I know for a fact that this fight has units that have Overwhelm by default, and I am a bit concerned about that. But if I get Ahri on the first turn, it won't matter because the opponent's in Targon, so they won't be able to deal with Ahri. Do I gamble on getting Ahri on the first turn? I'll get access to a shop. Or there might be something that makes us even stronger. And we definitely need to be strong enough to pass this encounter that killed us last time. Yeah, let's risk it. Please, just let me have Ahri on the first turn, not chase. Let's toss those two back. I'm going to keep the Petals of Fate because it's a spell. And I'm keeping a chase to increase the odds of getting an Ahri off of the Hero's Welcome. Nice. Let's hope I'm not wrong and the opponent doesn't actually have remove, or let's hope I'm not wrong and the opponent doesn't actually have removal. He's getting spell shield. I suppose. No, actually it's not spell shield. Okay, I thought that dragon soul was the one that the mountain dragon soul was the one that gave spell shield. Turns out I was wrong. Well, that's a plus for me. Next turn, let's go double final blessing. Orb of Deception, sure. An additional one will be nice.
Light steps.
Let's just attack like this. Deal some damage to the opponent's Nexus. Start working on Ahri's level up condition. Save some spell mana. This deals 28. Okay, the opponent's attacking right away. Depending on what the opponent did, I would play differently, but since he's attacking right away, there's no reason not to do this. Just remove that unit right away. And jump block this one. Since it doesn't have overwhelm, I can just do that. And can go for another Orb of Deception. Kill that thing. Sure. I end up using or wasting a bunch of ephemerals. But I'm not really in a situation where I desperately need them. Okay, the opponent's unit got spell shield. That's a slight concern.
Too slow.
But I have a couple of turns to deal with that. Or I can just do something interesting here. Go for a Orb of Deception, then swap bot. Steal the opponent's stats. Nah, I'd rather go for the final blessing. Just buff up our ephemeral allies everywhere. By a bunch.
I got this. The forest surrounds us.
Then we do this.
Too slow.
We deal 30 damage to the opponent's Nexus.
The world's heart beats with mine. Fast in her radius.
I kind of want 20 in my hand. I don't want to overdraw next turn. Let's just toss a Prancing Sea Spirits out.
May all those who journey find what they seek.
Next turn we have to deal with that. But we can do it. Can just do this.
Too slow. Eyes on me.
Becomes a 15-10. And then I'm actually going to swap stats with it. Wait, since when is that thing that big? That wasn't that much of a swap.
Journey is a discovery.
Well, I guess we're cutting the defective swap bot. Yeah, we can afford to take the 17. I was considering if whether or not I block with the Spirit Blossom Ahri. Okay, things didn't pan out to exactly the way I expected, and I ended up taking a lot more damage because of it. But we'll pull through. I can Spirit Rush. Let's Final Blessing first. We waste one ephemeral, but it's fine. And we are overdrawing.
Let them chase me.
But this way we clear the board
Too slow.
off of any threats.
Leave or burn.
Return anew.
And we make board space in order to develop more units. Let's go sparring student. And we'll go for the essence thief, I suppose. It replaces itself in hand, which is not ideal, but it starts growing, which is nice as well. Only attacking with the elusive. Maybe he thinks I want to risk the Ahri, but I don't need to risk the Ahri to deal with that. I can just do this. Let's do this. Keep the opponent's board under control. Maybe that will be the thing that ends up closing out the game. Well, that's a nice bug. I didn't realize the swap bot was there until now.
Start running.
We attack with everything, or basically everything, and the opponent can't deal with it. Just to be sure, let's remove one of the opponent's blockers. There we go. Now the opponent won't survive. Unless he will. Well, that's surprising. The opponent's holding on to life. I can actually go for a kill here. Or try to. We go for a Spirit Rush.
A chase.
Summon two Foxfires.
All unbelievers will see the light.
Okay. This Foxfire will die. Deal 1. So that means if I do... Actually, no, I can target my own units. I was about to kill my own unit, deal 1 to the opponent's Nexus, summon another Foxfire. That Foxfire dies at the end of the turn. And that's enough to close out the game together with this one. But it doesn't work like that. But fortunately I have a second Spirit Rush, so I can do this. All because the opponent was greedy and decided he wanted to play another unit. Nice. Can we afford to forego the healing on the healer? I think so. We'll definitely benefit from adding more cards to my deck, or adding some different spells to my deck. Flash of Brilliance. Sure. Burst speed refills spell mana. Cast a spell, generates more spells, so we can cast even more. It's good. Raiding party. We do burn the opponent's Nexus a decent amount with the Phantom Pranks, and it's a bunch of little pings, so whatever is on the top of the deck is going to end up growing a lot. Yeah, sure. It's a plus. Stun an enemy and then stun it again at the next round start. It's tempting. But no. Let's move on. Cut the card. The defective swap bot turns out is not as great as I expected. He grew a lot for no reason. It went up to 9. I guess it was because of the Shimes that hit it. If I don't cut the defective swap bot here, what do I cut? I'm actually rather enjoying the invasive Hydravine. The encroaching mists are actually pretty decent. Or constant encroaching mists are actually being pretty decent. So it's definitely not that. Not a Serene Spirit either. I think it's a toss-up between the Prancing Sea Spirits and the defective swap bot. I can see more utility in keeping the swap bot around. So yeah, let's get the Prancing Sea Spirits. But now that I have the buff on the top of the... Or now that I have the buff the top card of your deck, maybe I should have kept the Sea Spirits and tossed the swap bot, because there can occur situations where I just buff the swap bot by a bunch and then it becomes kind of useless as a piece of removal for the opponent's stuff. But I might be able to use it on my own units instead, I guess. Well, we didn't draw Ahri, so I suppose we'll lose here. Let's see if the opponent summons the Shyvana. He didn't. Well, that's a decent swap bot target. Yeah, the opponent immediately regretted going for the rally. Really? No. I thought for sure the opponent wasn't going to attack. But he did. Well, that's his decision. I won't question it that much. It's nice. The defective swap bot will trade favorably into Shyvana. I can go for the shock blast. Remove that thing. I suppose I'll do it, just because I want to empty my hand. I don't want to end up burning an Ahri accidentally.
Learn to fear a dragon's rage.
Okay. It's attacking with the dragon and not with Shyvana. I guess he's not fine with trading his Shyvana. She is almost leveling up. Let's do this.
Now I take to the sky.
Shyvana levels up. It's fine. We can still trade into the Shyvana. So we're in a decent position. I was considering going for the Yoink to scout out the opponent's hand, but I don't think it's necessary. Let's Petals of Fate for one. Try and fish for the Ahri. I want to fish for the Ahri. So let's go for it again. That's not an Ahri. Flash of Brilliance, I guess, because it's basically free. It is in fact free. We can ally recolor all other units and landmarks. I can't really go for that. Well, it did give the defective swap bot challenger. So now I can actually do this. She's pretty decent, actually. We trade into the Shyvana, remove her from the board. Now he needs to have a Shyvana in hand in order to further his game plan. Doesn't appear like he has one. Otherwise he would have played it there.
What's today's lesson?
Don't worry, I'll spot any danger.
That's a problem. He's probably going to remove the invasive Hydravine. Or maybe not. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. But that just means I can go for the Yoink to generate a blocker. And that's kind of a waste of his rally effect. I'm not in the best position, however, as I am going to have to deal with this upcoming attack. Well, I can go for this massive Essence Thief. Damn, I didn't realize it was that big. Guess he's been on the top of the deck for a long time. Let's prevent that from getting a Chemtech Dragon Soul. At least that way he doesn't revive. Now he goes ahead and kills my invasive Hydravine. That's unfortunate. I really like the constant encroaching mists. The defective swap bot has a bunch of stats, so I suppose now we try to use it on an ally unit. Guess that's the play. But currently there's not that many allies I'd like to buff.
How can I stay away when there's dragons?
I should probably drop down the Jace as soon as possible, but I don't want to. Because I want to duplicate the spells with the Ahri. Or I want to duplicate Jace's spell with the Ahri. But maybe I should just make peace with the fact that I won't get to duplicate Jace's spell with the Ahri. Instead I should just drop down Jace to start doubling the first 6+ cost spell I play each round. The thing is, I don't really have a lot of 6+ cost spells.
This time, we'll be ready for them.
That's scary.
I spotted something.
I was about to block with the Essence Thief and then be done with that, but if the opponent's pulling the Essence Thief with the White Flame Protector, then I have to do this. Try and mitigate the amount of damage I take as much as possible. And finally we hit the Ahri. Now the problem is I can't go for the Ahri right away because the opponent has a Strafing Strike in hand. So let's try and either bait it out or bait out the rest of the opponent's mana. Yeah, like that. Now I can safely go for the Ahri.
My search is over. Now I hunt. Nice. Self-interest.
Great, I have Ahri on board. Now what? I have a singular spell that's worth doubling up? Never mind, I got the Final Blessing. I got lucky. Let's go Final Blessing. Let's go Orb of Deception on the Shyvana. We now have another Ahri in the deck. We can attack with all of my units.
Let them chase me.
Like this. Maximize the amount of damage the opponent takes here. If the opponent tries to use removal on the Ahri, I can just Orb of Deception whatever he targets, or whatever of his units he targets, because his removal is only through combat spells. So I'm safe on that front. Or if he decides to spend his entire mana, I can just deal a little bit of additional damage through the Spirit Rush.
A chase.
Okay, that deals 2. Plus 3, that's on board. The opponent gets set to 1, so If one of my units dies, the opponent loses.
Too slow.
That's a bit of a predicament for him. Really? Well, let's just do this then. Force you to either have a healing spell or lose. Turns out the defective sockbot was good enough even without or even with the buffs. I ended up playing it and swapping stats with a decent card on the opponent's side anyway. So maybe there's no reason to cut it from the deck. Titan's Axe or Warding Charm. The spell shield is great to protect the Ahri, but the extra stats translates into more damage and that's very tempting, so I'm going to pick up the extra stats. A natural selection, shared mana flow, new student. I think I benefit more from shared mana flow than the opponent does. Because with shared mana flow I go up to 6 mana on turn 1. And that allows me to start double casting spells with Ahri on board. Yeah, let's pick up the shared mana flow. And obviously we go for Cloud Drake. No way I'm taking on the other fight because I know for a fact that I'll end up being burned to death if I go for the bottom path. Ooh, great. We even got an Ahri on the first turn and everything. We have everything to win this game easily. Well, unless the opponent has removal for Ahri. And for a fact the opponent's removal in this fight is damage based instead of unit combat based. So that might be a problem for me. Maybe we can bait out removal if we just pass the turn. Or pass priority to the opponent.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
Nice. The opponent spent all of his mana on the first turn. And I still have my board. So now I can do this.
Too slow.
Generate some Foxfires.
2 steps into moonlight.
Pull like this. We're going to start chipping away at the opponent's Nexus. We're definitely not killing the opponent with big swing turns. It's more of a death by 1,000 cuts type of thing we've got going on here. Not complaining though. It's working out very nicely for us. Now the problem is that thing is going to be... It's at an awkward health total. We can deal either 28 or 12 with the Orb of Deception. Going for the 28 damage version is overkill, but I don't have a better play, unfortunately. I don't want that thing to get spell shield. The opponent is stunning 2 of my units. I can block with 2. Or I can do this and turn that from a threat into a non-threat.
Always got what I wanted. Now I gotta find what I need.
I'm still going to take a bunch of damage here though. Especially if the opponent manages to fill out the board like this. Well, 23 damage is better than just being dead, so I'll take it. The opponent's almost out of resources too.
Too slow.
I definitely need to start emptying my hand. Let's go double shackles. And let's try and clear some of the opponent's units by doing this.
Not another step.
Nice. The opponent is going to heal and draw, so there goes the whole the opponent's almost out of resources thing.
I am a huntress. I am Vastaya.
Well, at least now Ahri is leveled up, so he can get an additional blocker and attacker every turn. That's fine, I suppose. Actually, no, it's not fine. 17 with Spell Shield is also an awkward number for us. And the opponent has Divine Drafts, right? I forgot about that. He can just burn me to death, which is extremely annoying. I go down to 14. 2 spellcasts from that kill me. I'm going to pull the trigger on the Jace. But if I pull the trigger on the Jace, he just kills my Ahri. Do I need Jace's spell to win the game? I think so.
You've learned our lessons too well, Ahri.
Come down from that perch, Protector.
Okay, good thing I didn't go for the Jace.
Eyes on me.
By doing that I can kill that thing and then save or play an additional Ahri once he inevitably attacks the Ahri and pulls it with the Cloud Drake. Yep. Let's split the Ahri.
Here I
I'm going to do this to remove the spell shield from that unit. The opponent has 2 cards in hand. What are the odds that said cards are pieces of removal? It's kind of high, right? But I definitely need to go Jace's spell here and hope that I either get lifesteal and the opponent doesn't have removal or burn. Okay, he's going to draw into burn. Okay, that's not burn. Okay, we're safe for now. This fills up my board. Yep. Let's hope that the Foxfires get good keywords. Lifesteal, please. No lifesteal.
Spiritual fulfillment.
start running.
Well, at least there's the possibility that I just kill the opponent with this attack as well.
Nah, not a chance.
Nope. The opponent decided to block with everything. He loses the entire board, but he manages to stick around, so if he drew any pieces of burn, I die here. That's not burn. Is the opponent giving me a false sense of hope, I wonder?
Too slow.
I wonder indeed. Let's hope that's not the case. If he had burn, he would have led with the burn, right? Yeah. That's fine. Okay, maybe that's not so fine. Because him drawing means he might have drawn the burn. So he can play it next turn.
Jana, I am
Please stop drawing, opponent. Every single card he draws is one concern for me. Well, at least I can heal 4 by doing this. So that gets me out of range of, yeah, that. But if he has that and another one of the 2 mana ones, I die if I pass priority back to him. So I have to kill him now. We do this, we attack like so while pulling both of these.
Many places to hide.
And this is enough to kill. Oh, that was a close one. The opponent's burn was a very big problem for me. As it turns out, we took what? 18 or more damage from burn. Yeah. That was a very close game. Let's reroll all of these. Vampiric Scepter on Jace. Do I really want that? Honestly, no. I'm probably better off with the Dragon's Rage. Mage Seeker Investigator is interesting, however. Nah. The Tain is not that great. How many copies of Ahri do we have? 3. We'll get 4 copies of Jace. Nah. We need the Ahri. Let's reroll. Maybe you can get some healing. Ionian Tailstones is healing. Oh, bother. We're going into the hardest part of the run and we only have 12 health to spare. Yet again, and a bad power. We don't target our own units. Mountain Speak is bait. The opponent has more expensive cards than I do. That means we wasted all of our rerolls in the shop and we got nothing. Blackened Ice Dragon or Peculiar Dragon? Let's go for the Blackened Ice Dragon. For a second I considered going for Portia, but there's no way I can... I have enough to clear Portia's board on the first turn. At the very least with the Blackened Ice Dragon I can do something by playing Ahri and trying to contest the board that way. He plays Bodir here and captures the invasive Hydra Vine. So I'm safe by playing Ahri. Or he doesn't play Bodir at all. And I just kill the Wrath of the Freljord for free. I'll take it. It was not the play I expected the opponent to do. But it's good for me, so I'm pleased with it. This is going to do a bunch of damage to the opponent's Nexus. It softens up the Mountain Drake a little bit and the Valhyr's Prophet. I still have the invasive Hydra Vine acting as a sort of pseudo protection for Ahri. As long as it's on the board, it's probably going to be something the opponent considers the largest threat. Yep. Honestly, this is an upside for me. Now I don't have to pay a tax to release the invasive Hydra Vine. Okay, we're in a good position. I can go Ionian Tailstones next turn and use the Ritual of Renewal to heal up to full. Right. We are going to overdraw a bit. We are going to overdraw a lot, in fact. I should probably look to empty out my hand in that case. Let's use the Orbs of Deception that are not temporary then. That's fine. We're going to soften up that thing. It's going to get healed a bit, but I'm not concerned.
The forest surrounds us.
Let's prank the opponent. See if I can make it so some of his cards become a bit more unplayable. 2 Bodies of Blackened Ice in hand. A ritual invocation, invocation of thunder, and a Rampang Wolf. Well, now we have a decent amount of hand knowledge.
Now I hunt.
We know that it's very likely that the opponent is going to capture my Ahri next turn. If he overrides the thralls or the landmarks. Yep. He overrode the thralls. Or the landmarks, I mean. I can do Ahri.
Right out.
He's going to attack here. Yep. Figured that out pretty quickly. Let's remove that one.
Too slow. Eyes on me.
Is this going to be enough to protect myself? We're definitely blocking the Overwhelmers with the high stealth units. Okay. We stable, or we prevented our death. And we're now at a low enough card total where I feel like going for Ionian Tailstones will be fine. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to heal 8 twice.
Too slow.
Oh, that's decent, I guess. Doing that just to fill up my spell mana.
Let them chase.
We'll soften up these ones, I suppose.
Too slow.
They do get set up nicely for a Spirit Rush. Or at least this one and this one do. That is if my Spirit Rush even does or summons 3/3 Foxfires, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually. Let's remove the Ahri. Or that one, so we can release an Ahri. Does that mean my spells... Oh, that was not the one that had the Ahri. That one had an invasive Hydravine. Okay. I still have to deal with the Frostguard Thralls, though. Revive the 6 strongest allies that died this game. 6 strongest allies. I was considering doing 14 twice there, but that might be overkill. Going double 6, that is good enough. And then Ahri dies. But it's fine. We can play Ahri for what's basically 1 mana anyway by doing this. Okay, he's killing Ahri again. He's killing Ahri again. I can do this and just release another Ahri. Oh, right, it's at burst speed that that thing happens, so we don't end up releasing an Ahri. Oh, that's a blunder. Let's hope that doesn't cost me the game. We take 19. The opponent's in Freljord, but I'm not sure that the opponent's deck has the cards that deal damage to the Nexus. Also, by this point our deck is so fully Faris that I'm pretty much guaranteed to draw an Ahri. But things are a bit concerning. I definitely need to do this. Just swap bot for some stats. I need to start clearing out the opponent's board. I could definitely use the what's it called? The buff for my ephemeral units.
Run if you can. Too slow.
But I'm not getting it, and that's a bit unfortunate. But we're still in a decent position. The problem is the opponent keeps summoning Overwhelmers. But he might be running out of Overwhelm units. We haven't seen one in a while.
Too slow.
So that might be the last Overwhelm unit the opponent has access to. Let's pass. That's fine. Actually, let's mitigate the damage in its entirety. Just in case. Yeah, because we dealt with all of the Bowdeers by now. We've seen 3 of them. We've also seen 2 Rats of the Freljord, if I'm not misremembering.
Too slow.
And that's the second Rimefang Den Mother. So that's all of that. So in theory, the opponent doesn't really have all that much left in his deck. At least in terms of Overwhelm units. How annoying. I guess he still has enough shatters to clear out one last Ahri. I can go for attacks with Dragonlings to heal myself, but quite honestly I'd rather do it on something that
Start running.
on something, or when I do get the card that buffs my ephemerals. But I might not get it. So maybe I should just do it now. At least for health, because the opponent does have one last Overwhelm unit apparently. I didn't even know the opponent had Augur of the Old Ones in the deck. It kind of makes sense because he has a lot of 8+ cost units, so he's going to proc the Behold of the Augur of the Old Ones relatively easily. But still. There goes my Ahri. I need to do this though. I don't have another way to deal with the Overwhelm unit if I don't do that.
Oh,
But it's fine, the opponent's almost out of cards anyway. So we're in a decent position. In fact, I can just Serene Spirit to scout out his hand. Good thing I healed. Definitely wouldn't like to lose to the Glacial Storms from the round. Yeah, that's something I need to take into account. Okay, we can't see the last card in his hand. What does that mean? That it's a repeat from one of these? No, normally that means it's a champion. But he couldn't generate a champion, could it? Could he? At least I don't think he would generate a champion. Let's Spirit Rush here to change the breakpoint on that thing for the Orb of Deception and draw a card. It's fine. Let's swap stats with that thing. Ooh, there's an Ahri. Ooh, and it's a very large Ahri to boot.
Here I am.
I'm getting extremely greedy trying to go ahead and heal myself with the
Many places to hide.
Empowered Dragonlings. Maybe I should have just closed out this game long ago, and that would have saved me more life. Well, I'm doing it now. Better late than never.
Remember this moment.
Now I'm definitely going to have to heal before the last encounter. Well, it's not like my deck has anything too egregious that I would like to cut. Strike, refill your spell mana. That's something that unit already does. So I guess we're going for Essence Thief. Spells chest. Formula. Draw 2, refill your spell mana. Dragon's Rage. Like kicks the enemy next. Kicks an enemy into the enemy nexus, striking the enemy. Then the enemy nexus. If the enemy survives, recall it. All of these are a bit too slow for my taste. Or in the case of the formula, we already have a hand that's large enough. Let's go for the Dragon's Rage, sure. Damn, that's a lot of money I have. I can heal myself to full. I can cut a card. Let's go for the full healing. Get 2 nice tries against the Elder Dragon. Surely we can do it in 2 attempts. Alright, first things first, I definitely want the Ahri. So let's mulligan aggressively for it. I can keep the Final Blessing because I can play it alongside the Ahri. Okay. Decent enough start. Let's hope that the opponent doesn't have removal for Ahri.
For now.
Okay, doesn't remove the Ahri, but it disables her keywords. So attacking with Ahri becomes significantly scarier. I'm still going for the
Too slow.
Final Blessing into attack. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. We wait for the next turn. Next turn I might just toss the Ahri to her death. Crush the opponent. Went and gave all of his Dragonales +1/+1 and overwhelm. I see. Like I was saying, I might just toss Ahri to her death to make it so I can go for an Ahri that has, or so I can play an Ahri that has elusive, so I can attack with her. But this throws a wrench in my plans. I definitely don't want the opponent to get that thing with Comtech Dragon's Soul, but I feel like getting rid of the Overwhelmer is a higher priority. This costs 5. And doing that costs... Okay, it's not a counter. I thought it was the... This was the counter spell that counters spells or skills that cost 3 or less, but it's not it. It's just the recall effect. In that case, this might be the correct choice. The opponent doesn't really have a lot of mana left, but apparently he does have enough to go for another. Give my units or my dragon allies overwhelm. 17 damage, ouch, that hurts. And he's already at 20 out of 75 towards Elder Dragon's level up. I'm considering what I do here. I think this is correct. We go for a kill there. By doing this, we deal a bunch of damage before ephemerals. We keep a Orb of Deception or an Ahri in hand just in case, because he might remove my Ahri on the board, or he might do that. Does he get spell shield from anything? No, he doesn't, but he does get Deathless. This deals 28, so this just removes the Elder Dragon right away. So that's one Elder Dragon gone. And most of these just fizzle. The Oceanic will go through, but whatever. It's not going to be the 2 health that makes a difference on whether or not I win this game. That's a second Elder Dragon, but I'm also prepared to deal with that one. Now if he has a third Elder Dragon, I'm screwed. I can deal with the third Elder Dragon. Does he have the third Elder Dragon? No. Oh. I guess we're safe then. +1/+0 is fearsome. Okay. We stabilized. He might kill my Ahri. But it could be worse. I think we're at a point where we don't even need Ahri anymore. I mean, he has the third Elder Dragon. Never mind, we do need Ahri. And even with Ahri, I'm not sure we win. How do I even pull off a victory in this situation? He levels up Elder Dragon on attack. I can't bounce any of his units. I don't have enough mana for that. I can't remove anything he does, or any of his units. I don't have mana for that. Maybe this dissuades the opponent from attacking. He even got overwhelmed on the Elder Dragon, so I'm even more screwed. Well, that would have been useful a while ago. I can kill one of the opponent's units. Specifically this one. Maybe that's what I need. He is going to attack with the Elder Dragon for 30 overwhelm damage. Yeah. My bad. I didn't have a way to deal with the third Elder Dragon he had in hand. How many of Elder Dragons does he even have in the deck? Certainly no more than 3, right? Well, fortunately we can try again. We have the revive. Now the question is, these things are things going to go as well as they did last time around? Probably not. Especially not if we don't draw a Nari right away. Please give me the Ahri. That's not the Ahri. Well, I guess we're losing the second time around too. Maybe this finds me an Ahri. That's not an Ahri. Shadow Flare is interesting though. And at the very least I can do this. Remove one of the Heralds of Dragons and softens up the second one. And now he's using the eggs to fish for dragons instead of giving his dragons overwhelm. Maybe that's something to consider. Maybe. Oh, well, that is now all of his dragon souls and dragon boons are going to affect all of his dragons. Well, I have a thing in my pocket. The Shadow Flare can end up causing a lot of troubles for him. Especially if he decides to attack here. Please attack here, opponent. Nice. That's huge. I just cleared his entire board with a spell. Sure, I take 6 damage from the impact. But I've just stabilized with a single spell cast. So that's great for me. I have 9 mana. I definitely need to draw more cards. I need the Ahri. Because if he has the Elder Dragon, yep, I'm just screwed. I guess I'm using the Ionian Tailstones as a sort of draw. Well, he already has a Elder Dragon on board, so whatever. Let's just try and deal as much damage as possible to his Nexus. If he tries to play something next turn, I can at the very least bounce the Elder Dragon back to hand, remove the buff. Or I can go for the defective swap bot. A 12-11 Elder Dragon is significantly less scary than a 35-28 one. And we got the Ahri, finally. About time you showed up. Okay, so he grows up to 30 immediately. Is that how it works? Okay, I guess I just can't debuff the Elder Dragon, even if the debuff is something that has already been applied. Wait, another revive? Did I have 2 revives instead of 1? Maybe I did. Well, 3rd time is the charm, I guess. Or I hope. Well, at least now I have Ahri in my opening hand. Unlike last game. Do I go for Ahri right away? I have a second Ahri, so sure.
Wild hearts should run free.
And Rage Fire Spitter. Does that clear my Ahri? No, it doesn't. Well, in that case, no reason not to do this. And that's just straight up remove his Enraged Fire Spitter from the board. On summon. Then I can attack with everything. Let's soften up those two. Whatever's on top of my deck is going to get a massive buff now.
Young bloods, we are nothing.
That's fine. I mean, not really, because that thing now has Deathless, but could be worse. Okay, it doesn't appear like the opponent has Elder Dragon in hand. And I can do this, remove that unit. Right away. Those things are going to get healed. But whatever. Okay, we can go for the Ahri anyway. So I might go for her next turn. Because this turn I fully intend to swap stats with the largest opponent unit. Opposing unit. Elder Dragon is just leveled up when he summons it. Okay, I just lose. I just lose. Or maybe not. The opponent decided not to attack with his other units. Why? Who knows, but he could have killed me if he'd just decided to attack with everything and leveled up the Elder Dragon. The opponent's mind works in these mysterious ways, I suppose. Now the real question is, how do I get myself out of this mess? I need to kill the Elder Dragon. I need to pose enough of a threat to the opponent where he can't just kill me on the backswing next turn. I can do this. That kills the Elder Dragon.
Eyes on me.
Or at the very least procs the Deathless on the Elder Dragon. Now it doesn't have any of the buffs. This softens up the
Steps into moonlight.
opponent's units somewhat. And this softens up the Elder Dragon somewhat. And now he's refilling his spell mana. Well, at least now he has one less Elder Dragon in hand.
My search is over. Now I hunt.
He might be tempted to place something first next turn before he attacks with the Elder Dragon. That's an opportunity to remove it. But can I even survive the opponent's board if I've removed the Elder Dragon? That's a very good question. Well, I have 2 pieces of removal, and I can go for both of them. This deals 28 there, so no more Elder Dragon. And this deals 28 somewhere else. But he might just kill my Ahri. He has a lot of overwhelmers. Allies, revive me. I don't want that thing to be revived no matter what.
Eyes on me.
So I think I go for this. Okay, he's giving everything overwhelm. Do I just die here yet again because the opponent's units all have overwhelm?
Too slow.
Yep. Man, Jess was completely useless. I'm not giving up. I am going to get back to this adventure with Fari later. But it's kind of upsetting that the opponent just had three Elder Dragons in hand in one game. The one that I was the closest to winning. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.